If you're serious about your business or career, becoming the expert is the way forward, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Hi, I'm Taryn Hunt, founder of Empowering Business Mums, and today we're going to go through my 7-step Empower system that takes mums from that place of busyness to craft a lucrative business. And today in part 1 we're going to look at and just start to unpack how to become that go-to expert in your field of business. So we're going to start off by taking you through the whole program just so you can see how it fits in together, and I'll help you to think about some of the key steps to bring more balance into your life and business, and to create that business that rewards you for your efforts rather than eating away at your precious time that you could be spending with your family. So we're going to start off by just unpacking this model for you. As you can see, the first step is E for expert. We're going to take a look at that in a moment, and I'm going to give you some more tips. We're going to go into this section in a lot more depth in this part. So let's just move on to the M, which is for marketing. So this is about nailing your marketing to generate a bigger income. When I work with clients within this program, we look at how you must be seen as a brand. So we help you to create your own brand and to help you to get seen. I'm sure you don't want to be that best kept secret. In fact, you're doing people such a huge disservice if you're not sharing your product or your service with them. I'm sure that you started your business because you feel very passionate about helping people, or you've got some fantastic products. But if you're not great at selling yourself, I totally get that. It's not everybody's thing. You don't always like to be in the limelight, maybe. You don't necessarily like to push yourself forward. But if you're not marketing in an effective way and you're not letting people know about your things, then you're keeping it to yourself. And that's doing those people who you want to help such a huge disservice. So I help clients to find a natural way of marketing themselves that feels authentic to them. So it's all about getting seen and having an effective marketing strategy that works for you to get more clients and more customers and ultimately more money. So I help people to look at a few different ways to market your business in a way that feels comfortable to you, and we spend as much or as little time as you need to looking over those things together. So the next step in the program is the letter P for productivity. So without productivity, perhaps you can feel very stressed, very overwhelmed. I love this lady in the picture. She's multitasking. Perhaps you're not going to be sat there covered in post-it notes, but certainly, you know, you might be on the phone whilst trying to do something else. Maybe you've got the kids in the background. But what we help women to do is to help you to get stuff done and to get results through using productivity and to feel comfortable about that. So finding ways to be more productive on a regular basis within your business. So in the last webinar, I was showing people some tips about being more productive, and we will look at that again in the future on one of the other parts of the webinar. So do keep following them, because I'll be sharing some more tips on that again for you. The letter O is for organisation. So again, if you're not feeling organised, you're going to be stressed. You might be missing things out in your business. You might be missing things for your family, maybe kids' appointments or something. If your head is just so full, sometimes I know it feels like you can't take any more in. So when we work together on your organisation, we help you to get things done in a more efficient way, again, to feel comfortable, to have really good routines that work for you. And that's when you're going to see these results. Things start to feel a little bit more effortless. So the next step is the letter W. So this is for your winning formula. When I work with my clients on this program, we look at setting yourself some really specific goals. If you don't have goals, you may be losing direction. You might feel like you're just drifting along, you're just getting things done. But with that set of really strong, specific goals, we can help you to create your own winning formula. This is specific to you. Everybody's winning formula will be different. what we look at is fine-tuning your own key to success. And that is the key to having a lucrative business. We'll look at the way that we record things as well in a couple of moments, and that all helps to form part of your winning formula, to see what's working for you and what's not, and to do more of what's working and work those alongside your goals and your values, so that we can help you to reach your goals a lot quicker. E is for engagement. So it's no good having lots and lots of followers on maybe your Facebook, your Twitter, something like that. If you've got this group of people, but you're not actually communicating with them, you're not connected to them, they don't feel connected to you. I'm sure you've probably heard that phrase, people know, like and trust. Those are the people that buy from you. People will buy from you if they know, like and trust you. So by engaging with people within your groups, that's how you're going to build this relationship and a community with your followers, so that you're all talking to each other, you're creating a buzz, you're asking questions, they're asking questions back of you, you're giving each other advice and help, and creating a true community, a tribe where you're all engaging with each other. And that's how you can build that engagement, which is just key to building these factors together and getting those people to become your super clients, to buy from you over and over again, and to really engage with each other. So that's that stage of the program. This is towards the end of the program, the 3 R's at the end. So what we do there, we make sure that you're recording your results. Once we've set some goals and we know which way you're moving forward and keeping you on the right track, we're going to record your results. Then we're going to review and we're going to see how those are working. We take the things that are working well and we repeat those. The things that aren't working well, we ditch them or we tweak them a little bit, and that's what creates your winning formula as well. So if you're not doing these sorts of things, you've got no idea of what's going well in your business and what's not. You might still be doing a little bit of everything and you're not quite sure which strategies to take forward. Maybe you've taken lots and lots of advice on board and you don't know what works well for you. It is different for everybody, so it's really important to know which ones work for your business. This is just a whistle-stop tour of all the elements within the Empower program. When I work with mums who are looking to make their business even more successful around their families, we personalise these sections and we work on each one as long as we need to. So I know that we've only got a really limited amount of time today, and I really want to share some tips with you as well. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to book your free 30-minute business to business breakthrough session. So what that means is helping you to take you from that place of real busyness where you've got so much going on to creating that lucrative business that rewards you back for the time that you put in. So I'm offering a free 30-minute breakthrough session where we'll work through some of your challenges. So we'll ask you about the challenges that you're currently facing, and we'll pick one of those and we'll go into it in a little bit more detail, and we'll give you some more value on that call. Or you can pick a particular part of the Empower program if you like one particular area and you'd like to work on that during your free session, then we can do that too. So to book your free session, all you need to do is click on the link which is on the left hand side of this webinar that says book your free session, and just book your slot there, and we can spend a lot more time talking about that one key section for you, or maybe looking at some of your key challenges that you're having, and I can give you lots more value on the call as well. Okay, so let's go back to the first part of our program. So it's all about becoming the expert or the go-to person in your field. So let me just show you where that fits in. So when we come back to the program, and we've got the E there, the M, the P, the O, the W, E, R of Empower. The expert is the first part of the program. So this is all about becoming that go-to expert in your field, where people will come to you over other people. So let's have a look at how we can unpack that a little bit more about how to become that go-to person in your field. So working out how to become an expert, even if it's just on a small scale, will definitely help your business to grow. In fact, it's a real must if you want people to start to take you and your work more seriously than they do now. So if you think about it, everybody or lots of people want to work with or to buy from that person who has a good reputation, they've got credibility, they've got lots of knowledge, and sometimes they might have what's known as social proof. I don't know if you've heard of that before. But that's social proof of other people talking about a particular expert, somebody who's got a lot of knowledge in that field. And so if you can start to build some of these things into your own business and your own way of being as a businesswoman, then you'll find over time that you'll start to get more demand. More people will want to come and find out more about you, and you can actually choose to take on those customers who you want to work with, as opposed to feeling like you've got to engage with absolutely everybody in the hope that somebody is going to buy from you or to work with you. So with that demand, if you've got more demand coming to you, then sometimes you can even start to think in the future about setting a higher price for your product or service, instead of catering for the masses and competing with other people on price. That expert can choose who they work with, and they can request a higher fee. So are you listening to this webinar today, maybe feeling like you find it a little bit hard to sell yourself? Sometimes it can feel like the competition is stronger than ever in your field. There can be a lot of demand for certainly there are particular small businesses where there's lots of people doing the same sort of thing, and it's important to think about, how do you stand out and how do you get that sale or get that client? How is it that you grab people's attention in an ever-growing sea of noise where people are often swayed by price rather than quality, and becoming an expert in your field makes you that go-to person in your industry? Do you tend to trust those who know their stuff and they can promote this well? Does that help sometimes? People who engage with you a lot, people who seem to be quite wise, full of knowledge in that area. So what I want to help you to do today is to give you some ideas as to how you can do that as well. So sometimes you've got other people that might be offering similar services, but they're never going to be offering exactly what it is that you do. And also, they're never going to be able to do it in the way that you do it. There's only one of you, which makes your personal experience unique from anybody else's. So when you pick a specific niche or a group of people with who you're going to work, being an expert becomes so much easier. So depending on what your business is, you're going to be the expert in your own business. But knowing your niche and being confident in that can really, really help. So working with a specific topic or a specific product or service that you really, really love makes life a lot easier on you. So even if you've got lots and lots of products or lots of different services, or you like to help lots of different people, maybe it would be a good idea to focus on one key area for a little while and really become the expert in that one key area. So not only will you already know a great deal about it, so maybe it's one particular area of business, or maybe you have got a particular business where it's very niche, it's very specific, and it's something in which you'll be eager to sink your teeth into and to really work hard on that area. So if you do feel a little bit unsure about this, maybe take some time to think about your niche area and whether it's the right niche area for you, or whether you need to develop it a little bit more, or perhaps, as I was saying, if you've got a lot of different products or different types of services, maybe just focus in on one particular area at the moment. So there might be one particular kind of person that you can help. Maybe it's just for example, maybe it's women, maybe it's mums, maybe it's mums of a certain age, or maybe it's mums who have children of a certain age. or let's think about another area. Maybe it's to do with pets. Perhaps you've got a product or service, or you know, for example, dog trainers. They will have a certain niche area that they're looking to connect with certain types of people, but they will become an expert in their field of work. So in the field of pets, they'll be an expert in dog behaviour. And what do they do to make themselves an expert in that field? We'll come on to that in just a moment. So it's really important to think about what's closest to your passion at the moment. That's going to be the easiest way to really niche down. You know, think about your own personal story, because sometimes that will often become a part of your expertise. So in my case, when I studied with the Youth Coaching Academy, I was really fortunate to be mentored by the chairman of the Coaching Academy, and I was taught to take a problem or a challenge that I'd endured in my life and to turn that into a gift to give to others, to help other people. And I can honestly say that I've totally embodied this. It's a true passion of mine to help other mums to balance their business and their lifestyle. And I even used an exercise from the course to create a little cartoon character for myself to help me to embody the characteristics of becoming a successful mum, especially when sometimes it might have been a difficult day, or I might have felt so far away from success, that it really helped me to embody that. And on my program, I do share this with the mums that I work with, and I can help them to create different roles for themselves, different ways of feeling, so that they can really embody becoming that expert as well. So once you're clear, you know you're on the right track and you've picked an area to work with, throw yourself into that topic. So spend at least an hour or two thinking each day, thinking about it, doing it, embody yourself in it, and really becoming involved in that topic area. So it can include things like reading news in your field, practicing what it is that you want to do, or that you're going to events related to it, so you can spend as much time as you can involved in your field. What you're going to do is you're going to become a real true expert very quickly. So just by embracing it, embodying it, and to do as much research as you possibly can. So even if it's things like keeping an eye on the news, so keeping up to date with present information on that particular topic. Learn about what's important in your industry today and stay really current in it, because then you're going to know exactly what's going on. People can come to you as an expert in, you know, well, if we want to know what's going on in this area, then we must go to such and such, because they're really clued up on it and they're really involved, and you can see that that person might be going to lots of events. So you can think about any events that are connected to your field. You can perhaps read up on things like blogs, magazines and books to do with your field. Go to seminars and to workshops. Mix with other people who are also interested in your field, and you can help each other. And the more that you help somebody else, even if it's in the same field, you're going to start to get this social proof. You're going to start to grow your own testimonials. People will be talking about you if you can offer help and support to people. Think about maybe watching and listening to the right programs on TV and radio. Take part in online webinars and e-courses. So there's another way that you can really research up on your field. Even if you've done courses, you can always do, they call it PDP, don't they? Keeping your personal development going, and you can download related podcasts, or you can listen to CDs. YouTube is fantastic. You can get so much free stuff on there as well. And think about if there's big conferences, you know, really big annual conferences and events to do with your field of work, and see if you can attend those and network with like-minded people. So when you kind of listen and take on board all that information, you'll be improving your skills and getting closer to being that expert every single day. So the more information that you can take on board is even more power in becoming an expert or being that go-to person in your field. There are so many other easy ways of growing yourself into that expert, and when we work together on this particular part of the program, we go into a lot more depth and we look at your type of business and how you can become the expert in your type of business and to grow that even more with lots of different ways. But what I want to do today is just to get you thinking about one thing. So when we were talking about there being lots of competition in an area sometimes, it's about thinking about how you're going to stand out, how you're going to be that one person that is different to everybody else. So whether it's after this webinar, or if you want to pause, if you can grab a piece of paper whilst I'm chatting and a pen, or even if you want to just wait until the end of the webinar. I know we're coming quite close to the end, but what I want you to do is to think about 3 people who you think do the same as you, and then write down who they are and what they do and how you think they're the same as you. And then alongside each one of those, what I want you to do is to write down one thing that you do differently to that person. So at the end of that little exercise, what you'll have is you'll actually have 3 things that you do differently to those people. And when you're thinking about what that thing is, it could be to do with your personality, it could be to do with qualifications, it could be to do with exactly how it is that you offer help. How do you go over and above the extra mile for those people that you work with? So have a little think and write down 3 people, as I say, 3 people who you feel do the same as what you do in your field of work, and then next to that just write down one thing for each of those people that you do completely differently. So another thing that you can write down as well, and that you can think of, is think of at least one thing in your field in which you've got a lot of experience, because experience can also help you to grow in becoming that go-to person. The more experience you've got, the more confident you'll feel in that area as well. So maybe jot that down as well. Think of one thing within your field where you've got a lot of experience. When I work with people on this area, we do a few little tasks and exercises very similar to this, where we can look at ways in which you can become the expert or the go-to person, but become it in your own way that feels natural. You know, people might think that being a public speaker and going to lots of events and standing up in front of hundreds of people speaking about what it is that you do or what it is that you share, I think people have a preconceived idea that that's how you need to be to become the expert. Yes, that's really, really helpful. If you can grow to that point, if you can, you know, learn about public speaking, or if you feel confident already speaking in front of other people, look out for speaking engagements and ways in which you can get in front of these people. But if maybe you're a little bit more reserved and maybe that's not something that you want to do or feel comfortable doing it, it's not the only way. There are so many other ways in becoming an expert. For example, I mentioned earlier about reading blogs, magazines and books. Well, what if you could find a magazine where if maybe writing was your passion, that you could write articles or do interviews, and if you can go to specific magazines that are in your field that you know that lots of people will be picking up off the shelf to read, what if you could become a contributor to that sort of magazine, and then you can share that on your social media and things like that. So there's another way to become an expert in your field without necessarily having to feel as though you've got to go and do lots of talks, go and speak in front of lots of people. If that's not your thing, there will be other ways for you to become an expert in your industry. So there's just a few little bits and pieces to give you some ideas. What I am going to do is I'm going to pop a worksheet on here with a summary of some of those little things on, which you can download straight away, and it's got the exercise on there. It's got another little exercise underneath as well, so there are 3 questions that you can look at, and that's just one small part of this particular part of the program. So as I mentioned earlier, do make sure that you book your free 30-minute consultation with me, where we can look at becoming the expert, we can look at a little bit more detail in that. You can pick another area if something else has interested you when we were going through the model. Or we can look at your challenges. So we can look at kind of your top 3 challenges that you're currently facing at the moment. We can pick one of those and we can work with you on that as well. So that's how you can book your 30-minute consultation call with me. Just go over to that button on the left hand side and click on there. I hope that you found this really useful. Please do feel free to send me your feedback or to ask any questions. I'm going to leave that questions and answers box open for a little while, so that's just on the left hand side there. Please do feel free to pop any questions in or anything that you'd like me to cover on future webinars. I look forward to covering the next part of our module on the next webinar with you, which is going to be the marketing module. So I look forward to sharing with that, but in the meantime I hope you've got lots of value all about becoming the go-to expert in your field.